Hey, I'm Siobhan, and I love talking about all the things related to freedom and personal growth. And I'm on a journey to redefine freedom on my own terms as I become the woman I desire to be. Each week, I'll share in real time what I'm learning as I do my inner work while creating a safe space for my listeners to feel seen. If you desire to be free and live a life that feels good to you, then you're in the right place for beautiful conversations that's going to support you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to the Siobhan J. Middleton podcast. Now let's start the show. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. First of all, I just want y'all to know I am recording these episodes like early in the morning. So I'm like, I wonder how my voice sounds. Do I sound like I just woke up? I don't know, but I did have my coffee and I am intentionally recording these in the morning before I get my day started because I want to have consistency with putting out episodes. And so let's get into it. So my great friend Denise shared this post on Instagram in her stories. And when I read it, it spoke to my whole entire life. So let me read it to you. It says, "You're allowed to get up one day and just decide to change who you are, dress differently, speak up more, laugh louder, speak freely, say hey to new people, get that confidence going. We don't have to stay the way people see us out of the fear that they won't like the us we want to be." And when I read that, I'm like, it resonated with me so much because it is literally how I have been living and doing my life for the past 3 years. Looking at my life and saying, something has to change. I want it to feel differently. And then not only having that thought, but actively, again, for the last 3 years, choosing to change. I remember when, I believe it's when I came back from the conference that I talk about on this podcast all the time, back in 2020. It was sometime after that. And I was looking in my closet and I'm like, I don't like anything that's here. None of the clothes in my closet felt like the me that I was becoming. And I went through my closet, and I've actually done this on 2 occasions in the last 3 years, and got rid of everything that didn't light me up inside. And I remember I had garbage bags and garbage bags full of clothes and shoes and everything that just did not feel right. And I literally, and I'm still doing this, starting my wardrobe over from a place of, does this feel good? Does this light me up? Do I feel good when I wear it? And even when I'm in the stores shopping for things, I have to remind myself of not choosing clothes that I would have chosen, years ago, but like, how do I want to feel now? And right now, what I know I want to feel is sexy. I want to feel good in my clothes. Like, I want my clothes to fit me a certain kind of way. And so when I saw even that part in the quote where it says, dress differently, that is like intentional work that I'm still working on to this day. But everything in this quote, like, it speaks to my life. It takes a lot of courage to decide to change your life. And another decision that I made several years ago is that I was going to consciously choose the type of friends that I desired and needed in my life. And so this has been an unraveling, if you will, over the last several years of making sure that everything and everyone feels good to the woman that I'm becoming. And I basically have been intentionally changing over the last several years. Now, the thing about change is that, and I spoke about this in another episode, change is beautiful. And I think that's what we're all desiring to do, or maybe many of us are desiring to change, but it's also pain that comes along with that. And you have to be prepared for both and be open to both, and knowing that you're going to experience, as I talked about my year of transformation, both discomfort and delight as you're changing. And one thing that I have been hearing from whether my friends and family or people that I just meet or maybe acquaintances is that you're so brave, you're so courageous because you decided to live your life the way that you want to. And I remember when I was hearing that for the first time, I'm like, brave, you guys are considering this bravery? Like, no, this is the hardest thing that I've ever had to do, is walk away from things that no longer serve me. And it was hard for bravery to really resonate with me. But the more and more I keep hearing it, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No, it did take a lot of courage to walk away. It takes a lot of courage to choose to live the life that you want. Like, even when I think about living on my own for the first time, there's so much, and I keep talking about this as things are unfolding for me. There's so many firsts that I'm having that I get to experience that had I not walked away from what was comfortable or what felt like it was comfortable in my life, I wouldn't be able to get these experiences. And so I can now see it. Yes, it takes a lot of courage to choose yourself, to decide to change your life. And it's not easy. And I want to emphasize that, like, this is the hardest shit I've ever had to do in life. And I've talked about healing my mother wounds on this podcast, other things that have come, like a friendship breakup, like all of that was hard. But by far, I would say what I'm experiencing right now of leaving this relationship, this marriage, and for the first time ever being single in my life, and because that relationship was more than half of my life, this is the hardest thing. And hard doesn't necessarily mean bad. It's just, this is new. This is a shift for me. This is a change. And even though it's hard, I'm walking every single day, taking a step, saying, I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to keep changing because this is my life, you know? It takes a lot of courage because of the uncertainty when it comes to choosing yourself. And that's both scary and exciting at the same time. Y'all know I've been talking about duality, but it's both. It's, man, I don't know what's to come, but yet I'm excited to get to know this new version of myself. And I have to trust this journey that Spirit has for me, that even when I'm unsure, I have to keep going. And not keep going as I have to keep taking action, but I have to keep allowing my path to unfold because I don't know what's ahead. And for me, I've lived my life very cautious where I need to know what's going to happen after this, after this, after this. And now I'm in a space where I don't know. Even as it relates to my company, all I know right now is to record podcasts. That's all I have. And I have to trust this part of the process until Spirit gives me the next step. And I feel like I'm on the brink of it where it's coming, but Spirit has to see that I'm going to trust what I hear now. The same way that when I heard in my car many years ago, when I was getting laid off from my job, like, this is your opportunity to take a chance on yourself. I'm hearing that, but it's in a different way. And I have to trust the Spirit that I trusted before. I have to trust it now. And it's not easy. And again, that takes courage to do that as well, because it's easy to go back to the way things were or fall back into old behaviors and patterns. It takes intentional work to choose yourself and choose to change every single day. And so I want to leave you with, you get to change your life. You're not wrong. You're not bad for deciding to change. And you get to do this over and over again. That's the beauty of life. Like, you don't have to stay one way. Today, you may like one thing. The next day, you may like something different, and that is okay. I encourage you to choose to have the right people around you that can support you on your journey so that you don't feel like a failure or people are judging you, but you have room and space to continue to figure this thing called life out. You only live once. I'm going to say that again. You only live once. This is the life that you get. And do you want to stay in what you're currently in? Or do you want your life to look different? And if you're like me, you want to live a beautiful, free life. And you want it to be your life, not based on what someone else said that you should live. I don't want you to live a life of regret. I want you to live a life that feels fulfilling to you. And just know, this is the hard part. You will hurt people along the way because people want us to stay as we are. But if who you are does not feel good, you get to change. Do not stay the same to make other people comfortable. Choose yourself every single day. Why? Because you are worth it. And that is what I understand. So now when I'm hearing people tell me, oh, Siobhan, you're so brave, you're so courageous. Thank you. Thank you. Because it takes courage to change your life and to live the life that you want. This was fresh in my spirit this morning. I'm like, oh, I got to get this out. I got to get this out. I hope that it resonates with you. Share this episode with a friend. Send her the link and say, hey, girl, hey, listen to this. And then let's talk about it. Share it on the gram or whatever you share podcast that you listen to. Make sure you're subscribed and that way you never miss an episode. Follow me on Spotify, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, and however you do it on other platforms. I would love for you to rate this episode 5 stars. That means more and more people will get an opportunity to listen to what you just got a chance to listen to. Don't forget, you can always treat me to a cup of coffee or 2 or 3 or 4, however many you want to support my lovely habit with. I enjoy coffee so much, and I'm always trying out new things. And you can do that by clicking the link in the show notes. And that's just you showing that you support what I'm doing and you're inspired and you're motivated to show up for yourself based on what I'm sharing with you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Sending you so much love and light. Until next time.